Okay, now we're going to learn how to use a Fretboard Toolbox Original Guitar Edition to play some major scales. If I want to play an E major scale, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first look up here on the chord jig, and it's going to show me what all of the different notes of the E major scale are. E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp. That's Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti. And what's cool about that is that I can, on my pentatonic jig down here, I can see where are all of those notes of the E major scale all over the fretboard. So here I've got the fat 6th string, 5th string, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st. And what I can do is I can start on the 6th string open, and I can play E, F sharp is on the 2nd fret of the 6th string, G sharp is on the 4th fret of the 6th string. I can play the A open on the 5th string, or I can play A open on the 5th fret of the 6th string, and I can play the major scale all over the place here. So if I want to show you how that's going to work on guitar, I've got my 6th string, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, and so I'm going to play here E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. So E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. And then I can keep going here by playing, I can play E, F sharp, E on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, F sharp on the 4th fret of the 4th string, G sharp on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp. I can play this B on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, or I can pick open on the 2nd string. So I'll show you that part too. So we're going to go, make sure you can see here, we're going to go E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E. Or I can play open here. And what's cool about that is lots of folks tell you to learn major scales, but often you don't understand why. At least I didn't when I was first learning to play. And what's cool about that is if I take just these notes of the E major scale, I can turn those notes into chords. So I can turn an E note into an E major chord by playing the notes E, G sharp, and B. And so that turns E into an E major. I can turn the F sharp note into a minor chord by playing F sharp, A, C sharp. These notes over here are for 7 chords, and we'll learn those later. On the G sharp note, I can turn that to a G sharp minor by playing G sharp, B, D sharp. Let me show you how you can make an E major chord with the notes E, G sharp, and B. So I come down here and I say, where can I just play E's, G sharps, and B's? And I can repeat them, I can play them in any order, I can play them anywhere on the fretboard that I can just play the notes E, G sharp, and B. So on the 6th string I can play it open because it's an E. On the 5th string, I don't want this A because it's not part of E, G sharp, B, but B is good on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. I can play this E on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. I need the G sharp from the 1st fret of the 3rd string, and then B and E on the 2nd and 1st strings can be played open. So I can make an E major chord just like this. I got E, B, E, G sharp, B, and E. And it's that easy. So if I want to play an A chord, an A major chord, which is the 4 chord, I can play A, C sharp, and E. And so I come down here and I say, where can I play A's, C sharps, and E's? You can play this E if you want, but most people start an A major, an easy open A major chord on the 5th string because the open is an A. I want this E on the 4th string, 2nd fret, this A on the 3rd string of the 2nd fret, C sharp on the 2nd string, 2nd fret, and then I can leave that E open on the 1st string. So I can bar these 3 with a finger, or I can put one finger on each. For me, I usually just bar all these three notes here. So here's an A major. So what's cool is that these chords sound good together because they're in the same key. And then using that same technique, I can build any of these chords that I want to, and these chords are found together in songs all the time. Let me show you the same thing for the key of G major. So if I want to play a G major chord, here's the Do, Re, Mi, and G major. And then the pentatonic jig shows where all of those notes for the scale of G major are. And if I want to build a G major chord, I need the notes G, B, and D. And so I can come down here and say, where can I play just G's, B's, and D's? So 6th string, 3rd fret, gives me a G. 5th string, 2nd fret, gives me a B. 4th is good because it's part of GBD. 3rd string's good because it's part of GBD. 2nd string's good because it's part of GBD. But then I don't want this E, so I can come up here to the 3rd fret and play a G. So all I have to put my fingers down on are this G, B, and G note, and then I'm playing only G's, B's, and D's, and that gives me a G major chord. Looks like this. So it's pretty easy. If I want to play a 4 chord in G major, that's a C major, I need the notes C, E, and G. So I come down here and I say, where can I just play C, E's, and G's? So this E's okay on 6, you can play it or not. You could put a finger down on G if you wanted, because that's part of C, E, G. But most of the time for a basic C chord, you'll start on the 5th fret, or 5th string, 3rd fret, and play a C. Remember, I need C, E, and G. So I got my C here, I've got E on the 2nd fret of the 4th string, G's okay. On the 2nd string, I don't want this B, so I'm going to go with 1st fret for C. And the 1st string open is good, or I can put this G if I want, but the easiest C major chord would be C, E, and then C. So that would look like this. Here's that C, here's E, here's C. Again, those chords always sound good together too. And then if you were just going to learn 3 chords, I would pick G major, C major, and D to get started. So to play a D major, I need the notes D, F sharp, and A. So I come down here. Again, there's A's and D's and F sharps up here. But typically, an easy D major chord you can play, start with the D here on the 4th string open. On the 3rd string, I can hit this A on the 2nd fret. 2nd string, I can hit this D on the 3rd fret, and then on the 1st string I can play this F sharp on the 2nd string. So I just need to cover A, D, and F sharp. So D, A, D, F sharp. That would look like this. So those chords they always sound good together. Minor chords are built the same way. If I know just the major scale, I can pick just the notes A, C, and E from the chord jig here. And what's cool is this chord jig, this works on any instrument. This is how Western music is built. So you can use that for any instrument as long as you know where the notes are on your fretboard or piano or whatever instrument you're playing. So to play an A minor, I need A, C, and E. So typically we'll start on A, open. E is good on the 4th fret, 4th string, 2nd fret. A on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And then the C on the 2nd string, 1st fret. And then E is good to go because it's part of A, C, E. You can leave it open on the 1st string. So I only need to cover E, A, and C to play an A minor chord. And again, that's going to sound good with all the other chords. So we got this E, A, C, C major, D major, G major, A minor, C major, D major, G major, and it comes right back. So that's all there is to learning the major scales and then building chords from them. And with that, you can do all kinds of stuff. And Fretboard Toolbox will show you how to do that for all of the 12 most commonly played